All right, we've been having some voltage drop issues on the Trans Am there. Wide open throttle with the headlights on, it dropped to 11.5 volts, and then without the headlights on, it drops to 12.5. And I think the belt's slipping. So what we're going to do today, we're going to install this ICT billet truck spacing driver's side head tensioner. See, like you can put that in there and adjust how tight the belt is. But it's the 551596-3 truck tensioner bracket kit. And then right here, LS Billet manual belt tensioner for LSX truck, SUV, LQ4, LQ9, blah, blah, blah. And it's just that piece right there. So we're going to put that on today, and it's got some handy dandy little directions here. It's got spacers with some measurements on them, and it's got a ruler on each side. So let's get started. First we'll looks really simple. We'll find these 3 spacers. There's only 3 spacers, so it's got to be those. And this bracket, and it looks like this bracket's going to go just like that right there on the head. And then we'll find the 100, well, this one's shorter, 100 millimeter and 210 millimeter bolts, and throw this on. And just like there's only 3 spacers, there's only 3 long bolts. That's the rest of it. And one of them shorter than the rest of them, so that one's going to go in the recessed hole. All right. So let me move this stuff out of the way so you can see a little bit better. Those are the only 3 holes it lines up with. So there's that bottom hole, then there's a hole there, then there's a top hole up here, not used. There's a very, very top one, and this one over by the water pump. That's the only way it lines up. So there's one up here it don't use, and one down there it don't use, and the rest of them just below the freeze plug, the very top right one, and the very far left one. So I'm not going to tighten anything just yet. I'm going to see how it goes together before I go to tightening stuff. You know, on our next step, we got this bracket. Turn the light off so we don't get no glare. All right, we have this bracket right here. It looks like it goes on just like that. And then there's a countersunk. It's the only countersunk Allen in there. And then we have this spacer. It's going to go just like that right there. And then we have the pulley. It's going to go on there just like that right there. That'll go up in there. There we go. And then we have a bolt and a washer. Oddly enough, they sent me an extra bolt. Weird. We'll figure that out in a minute. But this one in the washer is going to go right there. And that's going to screw in that hole right there. See, something has to go in that hole. That's probably, yeah, there it is. That bolt goes in from the back, and that's what holds this from moving. Once you get it tensioned up, tightened up and everything, that's what's going to hold all this. So take this. Again, not tightening anything up just yet. We're going to figure out, seeing you put your ratchet right there, set the tension, but let's see. So that's going to go on there just like that right there. Watch me drop everything. There we go. And then this one, I'm going to come around the back and go in right there. Through the back into that little bracket. Easy peasy. And this is what tightens it up and down. Look at the adjustment in that thing. Wow. Be hard to mess up the belt size on that. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's tighten let's tighten these 3 bolts up first. Then we'll tighten this Allen up. And then we can leave that one loose, because that's what's going to tighten our belt. All right, that 65-inch belt went right on there. Sweet. One bad thing about it is, oh no, it'll clear that thermostat. All right, tightened up the Allen. Or not tightened it up, snugged it up. Snugged up that bolt. And then there we go. There's your adjustment. And then once you get it, well, we'll do that in a minute, but once you get it where you want it, you tighten that one, tighten that one. I tighten this one first, then tighten that one. And how you get the tension on it, get you a 3/8 ratchet, put it, or is that a 1/2 inch? There's a 1/2 inch. Well, 1/2 inch ratchet ain't gonna fit without an extension. There, now we got an extension. I'm gonna use a shorter extension, but I can find it right off. But let's measure what belt we need. So the way I measure these belts is I take one of them small ratchet straps and put it around there. But what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna tighten this up about in the middle and then measure. All right, there's about middle. Yeah, about middle. Then we'll get our ratchet strap. Had to get the ratchet strap out of the truck. Look, it's Halloweeny. They're coming out of the ground, no. So on these, the belts, the flat belt side runs up against the smooth side. The belt side that has grooves in it runs up against the side that has grooves in it. So the only time the back of the belt touches the pulley is that right there. But we're gonna use this just off of Harbor Freight, an old small ratchet strap. It actually fits the 6 groove pulleys really, really, really good. See. Yeah, pretty good. But now we got to wrap all that around there and hold it and then mark it and then measure it. And that's how it's going to go. I'm kind of worried about it hitting the water pump right here, but looks like it's going to clear it. Because that's actually wider than the belt. But now try to get it as straight as I can, pull it tight, then we're going to mark it right there and we're going to measure it. Alright, that's where it come up to. Let's measure it. Also, we forgot to tighten up that bolt. We're going to do that in a minute. But when you pull your belt tight, be careful, because this thing right here, that bolt ain't tight enough. That bolt back there ain't tight enough. When you pull it tight, it'll pull it down, which happened to me, and I had to reposition it. Alright, so we come up with 64 3/4 inches. They only come in halves and fulls usually from what I've seen. So we need a 64 1/2 or a 65. Let's go check it out on the internet. Another thing you want to keep in mind is you want to count these grooves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grooves. When you order your belt, it'll say like K6, K5, K4. That's how many grooves there are. K6 has 6 grooves. And then the next series of numbers are usually like 3 numbers. Those are the inches. Like, we need a 65, we get a 650. We needed a 64 1/2, we'd get a 645. So we need a 645 K6, 645 K6, or a 650 K6. Also, some belt manufacturers will list it backwards, like a 65 be 650 K6, and then sometimes it'll say K6 650 for a 65-inch belt. All right, so I searched 645 K6. One popped up, but it was out of stock. It was like 45 bucks. 645 K6 out of stock, so I did 650 K6 right there. There's a part number, 650 K6, like I said. And $21, 65 inches long, 6 rib count. We're going to order that one and go get it. All right, that 65-inch belt went right on there. Sweet. One bad thing about it is, I don't know how to clear that thermostat. It's close to the thermostat right there. Yeah, it'll be fine. TJ, help me. Tighten her up.
Got her did.
Working good. Now we're going to start her up. Burp her out a little bit. There we go, guys. ICT, idler pulley, whatever you want to call her thing. It works really good. Before, you know, with it just grabbing that much belt on the pump before, you'd rev it about 3,000 RPM, the temperature would go up. Now the temperature goes down. But now I ran it that way on my car. I got a Camaro with a 5.3 in it, but I ran it that way forever, and I never had a problem with about slipping. But this is brand new, this water pump, and this is hard to turn. It's hard to turn. Mine, you go like that and it'll whiz. This one, you go like that, it won't even turn. It's hard to turn. So, but anyway, yeah, the volts stay where they should be at. We had a problem with the volts dropping when you rev it. The volts stay at like 14.5, and idling it'll get up to 172, and if you rev it, it goes down to 166. Which before, I think where it was slipping, if you drove it around 3,000 RPMs, it would get up to 200 degrees. Which I bet it don't do that now, but we'll test it tomorrow. But tomorrow we're going to go to the drag strip and see if the oil pressure's fixed. Double check, make sure the volts are fixed. And if it is, we're going to try to run 5. What do you think about it, TJ?